James, how challenging has this year been for you? I mean, Logan was saying the other day, we don't know what goes on as far as your health goes, as far as what you battled this year. Can you say what the things you've been dealing with here health-wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think every year, it's a long season. It's a tough season. I think everyone has injuries and health stuff, and you just try and find a way to be at your best and play through it and try and help the team. So I think there's probably 23 guys in that room that are battling through stuff. So it's just part of the game.
Is it anything that's going to require some procedure or surgery in the off season? What you're dealing with?
No, I mean I might. Go see a few people just to make sure everything's in the best possible spot possible for the summer, so that you can heal up and be as close to 100% come the fall. But nothing major in any way. I think just some good maintenance.
Have you been able to speak with Joe Woll at all in terms of just sort of your future with the Sharks, being that there are three starting goalies on the team right now?
I meet with him tomorrow, so that's when my meeting is. I haven't chatted with him about that really yet. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna have three really good goalies next year or going into the summer. I mean, however that plays out, but throughout my career, I mean, you can't really control what people do or what people think. For the most part, you just try and control what you can do on the ice. And so, I feel like I thought I came in here and I played well and I played consistent this year. So, whatever they decide to do, that's their prerogative, and leave that up to them.
And do you think this was some of your best hockey, in a couple of years, or in a little while?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I've had good seasons and bad seasons throughout my career, but I feel like this one was probably the best, and probably for sure the most consistent season I've had, I think, in my career. And I think that's kudos to the people that I try and surround myself with, from my trainers to goalie coaches to my agent to obviously family, my wife. I think everyone. You have so many people that support me and have so much good input in my life and my career and push me to be my best. And so for me, it's the goal is always to get better. It doesn't matter if you're 34 or 23 or whatnot. It's the goal is to get better, and so going into next year or going into the summer, I mean that's my goal is to get better and try and be even more of an asset for this team next year.
Does it feel like maybe you're getting better as you get older then?
Like a fine wine. You know what? I think I feel like I've been getting better my whole career, but I feel like in the last couple of years, I feel like I've been taking bigger and bigger strides. And so, goaltending is weird. It's a science in itself, or it's not a science, whatever saying you wanna use. Some goalies peak early, but usually I think you get better as you get more experience. And so for me, it's a couple more games this year and feel like I've played in more situations and been able to perfect whether it's your structure or your mental game. And so. I felt like it was a good season where I grew again and was able to get better.
So you said you're going to meet with Joe tomorrow. Let's say Joe says, James, you're one of the veteran guys on this team. You've been around a bunch of different organizations. What are your thoughts on what we need to do to get better for next year?
Yeah. Well, if I say it now, I don't have to say it tomorrow. You know what I really like about this team is, especially this year, was our desire or our compete level. We had guys blocking shots and and competing, taking hits, giving hits, sacrificing your body right up until the end, and that's something you can't teach. That's something that's you just have to bring in the right people. You're kind of born with that, or that kind of character, gets revealed, and so really impressed with that part of our team, and I think going for next year is just raising the level of expectations and not so much like the expectations always to make the playoffs and win the cup, right? But I think the daily expectations of how good you're going to be from day to day, and how the commitment to execute, whether it's practice, morning skate, in games, and I think that's something you just build, and that's something that you can work on, I think that's again, we took strides this year, and I think guys come ready to bring it every day next year, and I think we'll be in a good spot.
How much of that compete would you credit to Bob Bugner and his staff?
Yeah, I think a bunch. I think as a team we took a lot of pride in the way we play, and as a staff too. And Boogie every day in video, he would point out the good things and the bad things, and push us, and so. I think that he brought that level of accountability to that part of our game. I think that's probably the way he played, and that was his expectation for us. And I thought our leaders did a great job of leading the way in that. And so I think that was a big part.
And what would you say about Evgeny Nabokov as a goaltending coach? We don't get to see too much of that, obviously, because we don't talk with Nabby like we get to talk with Bob. So what do you think of his work?
Yeah, Nabby, really enjoyed working with him this year. I thought he was a great fit for where I am in my career right now, and where I want to be. I thought he helped me immensely, even from the conversations in the summer to getting here and working, and then throughout the year. He's got a great eye for the game, and a great eye for goaltending, and the way goaltending is evolving too. He's just he was a great goalie, but I think he's a great goalie coach, and he's like I said, he sees things in real time, and then having played, he knows what it's like to live through that situation or circumstance or whatnot, and so he just has a great ability to address your game, physically on the ice, and then the mental aspect too of how that kind of affects you, from different practices to games to travel to whatnot. So I really enjoyed working with him.
The new GM search, does that bring some uncertainty with what's going to happen this offseason, I guess?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously Doug's the guy that brought me in, and had a great relationship with him, and going back to my time here in 2015-16, and so with the new GM, it's nobody's job is safe, right? It's even if you had a great year and things are looking good, it's the new GM might come in and just want to go in a different direction. So it's not to say, whether it's staff or players, not to say that you're bad at your job or whatnot, but often GMs want to put their own thumbprint on the team, and so you never know what's going to take place, and so that definitely brings uncertainty. But like I said before, it's not worth losing sleep over, because you can't control it. So we'll just let it be.
Have you been through that in your career? I'm sure there's been a couple of times where you've been with a team that's changed management. What's that like, I guess, from a player's perspective?
Management, been with teams that changed management, and coaches, and so honestly, like you just have to focus on. It sounds stupid, but it's true. You just focus on being the best goalie, in my case, that you can be. you can't control what people are going to think about you, or misconceptions or preconceived notions they have about you. And so all you can do is come prepared and play hard and hope that they approve of what you're bringing to the table. So that's really all you can do.
How much stress does it put on a goalie or goalies when the team's only scoring 2.5, an average of 2.5 goals a game kind of thing? How much stress does that put on you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's you try and let in as few goals as possible, and so it's the goal is always 2 or less. If you allow 2 goals or less, then your chances of winning go up dramatically, right? And so for me, I don't try and worry about too much, whether guys are scoring or not. It's we're all a team in there, and we're all rooting for each other and sacrificing for each other. So I don't really stress out about it too much. It's just again, it comes back to just simplifying the process, right? Of just doing your job and doing your job well, and that's all you worry about, and then you trust your teammates to do their job and do it well. So it doesn't do us any good worrying about other people's positions.
So then a couple of fun questions. I always wondered myself, a lot of times they say, well, in the first period, unless you see 10, 12 shots, maybe you can't get in the game or whatever. What do you think as a goalie? Is that true, or don't you want to see as few shots as possible?
Well, yeah, I would see 30 if they were all from the point without a screen. So, yeah, no, I mean, I think for any goalie, if you can get a couple of shots early, it's always nice to get into the game. Sometimes it's tough when, you don't face a shot for 10 minutes, especially to start the game. But, at the end of the day, it's you don't worry about that again too much. When the game starts, you're ready to play. You don't know if you're gonna get 60 or if you get 12 shots that game. So you're just prepared for any situation that comes your way.
And when you do make a mistake and the goal happens, you have a ritual. How do you wash that off your head immediately and get back right into it?
Yeah, you just kind of have a little mental routine that you kind of go through. You quickly assess the situation, whether you made a mistake or not, or whether it was just a really good goal, and then you just kind of just let it go. I mean, it's it's over and done with, and the only puck that matters is the next one.
And taking the sip is part of the routine, getting the water bottle.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I don't even know what I do, but it's just it's just part of flushing it, I guess.